have never experienced anything like this back in high school. It is a new world, okay? It is definitely a different world, okay? Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's Life with Ari Nicole. And this time we're gonna be talking about my first college semester as a freshman at a HBCU. Okay? So one of the first questions that y'all probably want to know about is, how was the move-in process? Baby, that move-in process was something else. Let me just say. First off, to begin, the day we had moved in was a Tuesday or Wednesday, I believe. It was literally a weekday, smack dab in the middle. So my people had to take off work to come and help me move into college and everything. So that was a lot. And moving for me started at 8 a.m. We were supposed to be here at 8 a.m. Were we on time? On time was not the word that day. We were not early, but we were a little late. Like maybe about 10-15 minutes after 8 o'clock we arrived. So because I'm from Jersey and I currently go to school 3 hours away from Jersey, we had to wake up at about 4 o'clock in the morning to get ready, finish packing up the car, because we had most of the stuff packed up the night before to make the process easier. So we had to pack up the car in the morning again with the rest of the stuff. And yeah, did we leave at 4 o'clock? No. We left around 5 o'clock. We ain't make it here till about 8 o'clock, 8:10, 8:15, but we were still technically early. Did we beat my roommate from getting here? No. She was here before me, so she already picked her side by the time she got here. So I had to pick this side, but this side is the best side, I'm not gonna lie, because I got my own little corner. Y'all gonna get a little dorm tour soon, don't worry, okay? But moving in, it wasn't too stressful. I think the most stressful part was the night of, and then getting here with like the line of kids, because we have a small dorm room, like we have a small dorm hall, so it wasn't a lot of girls, but the line was still a little long because everybody had to check in, bring all their stuff in, bring all their family in, sign their name off and all that other stuff. And everybody was unpacking. The hallways were kind of packed, you know. We had brand new stuff in our dorm, so along with that, bringing in your stuff from home, you had to unpack what's in your room as well. Like there was still plastic on our mattress, like everything was brand new. You didn't have to clean nothing down because everything was fresh in here, and I love that. So yeah, moving was not that difficult, but it was definitely a process. I'm not gonna lie to you. And settling in was a little bit hard because I was away from home, but that's expected because you're away from home. So you're not be able to experience, you know, the same things you experienced at home. And it's a new environment, at least for me. And then also leaving my family, like when it was time to say bye to them, maybe I shed a couple tears because it was like, I'm not gonna see y'all for some time. And then it was also my brother. I knew I wasn't gonna see for like at least maybe a couple another months because he lives all the way in the south. So him coming up here was a travel on its own. So, but we are grateful to have him with us. Yes. And next question is, how was the parties? So I still go to parties, FYI, because it's a part of college life, like duh. But the parties here are great. Cons of the parties, they're very packed. The parties I go to, they pack you all in one big room. These are off-campus parties, by the way. They pack you in all one venue that's like medium size. Everybody is almost to like shoulder to shoulder. Like if you turn your body, you're gonna be facing somebody else. Y'all gonna be face to face. It's weird, right? And they be charging you like $20 at the door, maybe $25. It depends on what time you get there. But I ain't never paid no more than $20 for a party, okay? Because I don't get down like that, okay? I am not paying you a whole bunch of money for a party that might be whack. And especially if the DJ is whack, you ought to know I want a refund, okay? Okay. Now, sometimes at the parties, people can get a little rowdy. They might get a little into stuff that they shouldn't be getting into and not able to control themselves. I haven't had that problem yet. Because for me, at the parties, like, I know how to control myself. And instead, my roommates and them, they call me Mama Ari. Because, baby, guess what? At them parties, I be making sure everybody got their stuff. Everybody's together. We were leaving together. If we came together, we're leaving together. Amen. Okay? And ain't nobody gonna be touching up on you. Nope, 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 nope. It's my girl, okay? You're not doing all that. You need to leave, sir. I have done this before at a party. Don't worry. I got my girls. Okay? And another thing at these parties is that these boys be a little touchy. They be a little touchy. And it's just what happens. But nonetheless, always be prepared and understand what's going on. This is why I don't necessarily do things that I'm not supposed to be doing at parties, because I get lit. I have my fun. But I be aware. I don't play about that, because at the end of the day, I have to defend for myself at the end of the day. Because if my friends can't defend for me, it's only me versus me and whatever other enemy is out there. So I have to be there. Yep. And then also with the parties, I do not promote underage drinking, FYI. But sometimes at the parties, they might offer you to buy you some drinks, something like that. Them drinks is overpriced. Use your common sense before you go to a party. Use your common sense. And also be aware that if you can't see what the person is pouring you at the party, baby, don't take it. Because the last thing you need is for the drink to be laced with something. And oh Lord, we're going to have to go to the hospital. I don't want to go to no hospital with you. Please, 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 y'all, make sure y'all paying attention. Because my friends, they try to get me into that. I was like, girl, I'm good. You could do that if you want to. You have free will. But if something happened to you, God forbid, baby, I don't know what to tell your parents. That's up to you. But you do what you want to do. I'ma have fun off of what I got going on already. Amen. So the next question is, how are the boys? Were there any situationships? All right. So to be honest, you know, the boys here are very interesting. Let's keep it real. They're interesting. Some of them didn't like, you know, the idea of what I expected as a relationship. If you know me, you know that I'm religious. So I really be in my word. I really be going to church. And I'm all about following God's word. And some of the boys weren't down with that. And in fact, they wanted to do their own things. You know, like links and the things that boys do when they don't have their minds right. I was not about that lifestyle. Let's keep it real. So they didn't agree with the fact that I wasn't about it, so they didn't. Let's just say that. And what I wanted in a relationship, they necessarily didn't agree with. So once again, they didn't. And it's just like the boys that tried to link with me, I've realized this on my own. Like, their mindsets were not the same as mine. And I felt like in some ways I was more mature than them, because no. And then also, some of the boys that tried to talk to me, they were definitely not in my league. So that wasn't gonna work out, because let's be real, I'm not gonna act right if I feel like you're not in my league or you're not my type. That's just how I am. I'm not gonna be rude to you, but we're just not going to click. Okay. And I also have standards that most of them didn't even meet. Even with talking to them over the phone, it did not work out. They were just not it. So I just let them be. But did I get myself into a situationship? Yes. Did it last long? No. Thank God, because I don't do long situationships. And it's the same thing that I'm talking about now. Like, we just didn't match up correctly. And he wanted one thing. I totally wanted something completely different. We were set on different things. One wanted a relationship. One did not want one with me. Y'all, it was confusing, messy, and I was done. All right? Like, the end. Okay? But did I learn a lot? Yes. I learned a lot about college culture and how they do about dating. It's very interesting. I have never experienced anything like this back in high school. It is a new world, okay? It is definitely a different world, okay? Honorable mention. So the next question is, how did I balance school with extracurriculars? So I actually am in two mentoring programs, and then I'm also involved in two student organizations, and I'm also involved with our university's chapel. So that counts up to at least five outside commitments that I have to deal with outside of my schoolwork, which can be challenging at times, I'm not gonna lie. But it gives me stuff to do on the weekends because I don't go home on the weekends since I live 3 hours away from home. So how I balance school with it is a little difficult. I have two calendars. I have a physical one and I have a digital one. Both of them, they connect at times, but sometimes I like the physical calendar because I can write things out and see everything word for word, bar for bar. I just like it like that. I don't know why. But I also have a digital one, so when I'm on the go, I can give reminders and everything like that. Simple. And the events that I have to go to for any of my extracurriculars, I always write them down. So, and if it ever contradicts with my schoolwork or like me going to class, I just simply say, I can't go. But luckily, my schedule this year, or rather this semester, is a little bit more open to me doing other things outside of school because I have a full day during the week where I have no school classes, like no class, no work, nothing. So that's one day. And then on Tuesdays, I have till the morning all the way to about 4 o'clock to do whatever I want to do. Hey y'all, I'm back. So I lost the file actually to the other video that was supposed to be happening at this moment. So now I had to refilm it the next day. Crazy. So anyways, back to regular schedule. So for Tuesdays, I'm free up until 4 o'clock. It's the same thing as last semester. I have a discussion class that happens around 5 o'clock. So usually what I do is like I go to the gym. I do whatever I want to do till about 4 o'clock. And it was the same thing as last semester too. I literally have free will, and this is me utilizing it. And also last semester on Thursdays, I would usually do a 9 a.m. class. And sometimes that 9 a.m. class will get canceled. So it's like, okay, now what? You have the whole day to yourself. But towards the beginning of the semester, we had like convocations. We had to go to those, but eventually people stopped going because they stopped requiring it. And I was like, shoot, if it's not required, I'm not going to go because I'm not walking all the way across campus in this scorching hot heat. Okay? So yeah, it was very interesting. And my schedule, I feel like it's getting better over time because first semester I had all in-person classes. I had math in person, discussion class, and everything was in person. But this semester I actually have a hybrid class, a completely asynchronous class, and then the rest of my classes are in person. But those classes aren't any longer than an hour when they're in person. So I love it. So the next question is about scholarships. Of course I did scholarships. I'm like the scholarship queen back in my high school. Like I literally had a whole scholarship list on what scholarships kids should be applying for as seniors. Listen, it helped me. So I was like, let me help them out. So I earned about 7 scholarships externally from organizations back at home, like my church, our NAACP chapter back at home. I also earned a scholarship from the AKAs. I earned it from 2 different AKA chapters from back at home, actually. And I also earned a scholarship from HBCU Scholarship Ride back at home as well. And then I also earned 2 grants from Morgan. One of them is because I'm out of state, and then the other one, maybe it was because of my GPA, I don't know. But in total, I earned at least $20,000 in scholarships to cover my whole year from Morgan and from outside organizations, which is good. Because originally my goal was to have $10,000 in external scholarships. And to be honest, I beat that goal. I beat it, okay? Because I knew that bill was going to be a little heavy when we got it. But it's not as heavy now since I have scholarships. Because typically, my bill is like $16,000, 17 or 18,000 each semester. And somehow I managed to bring it down to at least 10,000, sometimes even 7,000 or 5,000. It just really depends. And hopefully that's the same for the next couple of years because, baby, in this economy, you see the price of eggs, like, it's getting difficult. Okay. Yeah. And I had a 3.78 GPA for fall semester, so because that was T, I haven't had a GPA like this since high school, guys. This is groundbreaking, okay? Groundbreaking. And I did my best fall semester, and I'm really proud of myself because that took a lot of work. I'm not gonna lie. And another thing that I do financially is before I move back in for either winter semester or when I move in the first place, I always make sure my balance is clear because I don't want to step foot into this dorm and have a balance because then they're going to keep emailing you saying, oh, you have a balance. Oh, la la la. And eventually they're going to tell you you have to go back home. I don't have time to be dealing with financial aid for issues like that. I would rather deal with the situation of them owing me money rather than me owing them money. I'm just saying, that's what I would rather do. And speaking about scholarships, senior year was hard. I had a lot going on. Like, I was literally having my hand in so many different things and organizations and prom committee, everything. I was on everything, y'all. But at the end of the day, I got my scholarships, and that's what matters, right? Exactly. So, talking about financial aid in total, I do struggle with financial aid. Like, more than likely, when I go to Tyler Hall, it's because they owe me money. I don't owe them money. They owe me money. They don't know where my scholarships are. Because I've had so many issues in the past couple of weeks with them losing my scholarships or them not posting it to my account in a timely manner. And it's like, do you guys like pocket my money? Like, what's going on? So it's really confusing, but my best advice is to anybody that's going to a HBCU, stay on top of financial aid because, baby, you don't need them losing your scholarships or nothing like that. You deserve every single penny that is given to you. Don't let them people take it because what they're going to do is pocket it. And it might go to another student. What you going to do? Exactly. And having issues with financial aid at an HBCU is common. It literally is. But don't let that be the reason why you leave. Unless it's very bad, then I can understand. But just stay on top of them people. Call your mama if you have to. Have your receipts. Be on your toes with financial aid, okay? Because at the end of the day, they're going to realize that they're wrong. And use Instagram, social media, however you have to get financial aid attention. Because once you get to the media, that's when they're going to realize you have a problem. And another tip I have is take advantage of that financial aid office because more times than likely, you will not recognize that there are a lot of resources in that office. You can even ask these people questions about how you can get your bill down for next semester. What are some scholarships they recommend? Do they have work study available for you? Like, even going there with a sob story, it might help your case, okay? Them financial aid people, they got some money up in their pockets. They just be stingy with it. They just want to pocket everything. I don't know why. But yeah, stay up on your resources and make sure you pay attention to financial aid. And check that bill every single time and know what you're paying for. Utilize everything you're paying for, in fact, because college is expensive. So the last question is dorm situation. The Lord has to hold my hand when I talk about this because may God be the glory. So when we talk about dorm situation, I got blessed with a brand new dorm, as I mentioned before. Everything was fresh. Walls freshly painted. Everything. Brand new mattress. Clean floor. Brand new shower. Brand new bathroom. Everything brand new. So the right intention is for you and other people that live with you to maintain the newness of the room and keep it clean. Because the room isn't dirty. You just have to keep it clean. It's not that hard. It's brand new. Just a little sweeping here and there, some mopping here and there, disinfecting, of course, and keeping up with maintenance every week, right? And it's really not too big of a space. It's literally just your dorm room. You have your side and you have your roommate's side. Then you have the bathroom that we all share. It's only 2 sinks and a room where there's a toilet and a shower. And they're not that far apart from each other. I promise you they're not. So my question is, why is it so difficult for people to clean up after themselves? I don't know. But that's the issue with dormant. Like, when you're moving in with people you don't really know, sometimes the process of cleaning, the mindset of cleaning doesn't really click like that. And not everybody was raised the same. So we got to be mindful of that. But I'm going to just be honest and be raw and real about this for a minute. We have a situation with my dorm where cleanliness is not the best. It's not by majority, it's by minority. Meaning it's only one person that's doing the uncleanliness. I wish we could switch our roommate out, but at this point it's not really possible. But we do have a cleaning schedule. We do. We try to stay up on it. That's really all we can do, and just tell her to clean up after herself. That's really it. Which you shouldn't have to tell an adult to clean up after themselves. But like I said, everybody is brought up differently. And sometimes it is also the case of ignorance, and I've learned that as well. Some people are really ignorant. They don't care about other people they live with, but they choose to live with other people. What I'm saying doesn't make sense because it really doesn't make sense. But truth be told, that's what it is. So yeah, choose your people wisely, have a cleaning schedule, and communicate, because we communicate with our RA like we besties. We really do. Like, I tell her everything that goes on in our dorm room. Like, oh, she ain't clean up. Oh, this was left behind. Like, oh, pictures. Keep your receipts, okay? Keep your receipts. And report anything you feel is necessary to your RA. I don't care if you feel like it's snitching, because at the end of the day, especially if you're building a case up against your roommate or your suite mate, whatever the case may be, for a reason as to why they need to dismiss themselves from your dorm or you need to get a different dorm, it will help you in your favor. I wish I did that the first time around because we wouldn't have to deal with this. But here we are. So yeah, this is the end of this video. So in all actuality, fall semester was a 7 out of 10. Homecoming was good. It was my first homecoming. We're going to do it again this year. Hey, y'all. Yep. And we're going to meet some new people. And definitely, I feel like fall semester was a great first semester for me. And it'll get better as the years go on. So, God bless y'all for watching this far. The next video is going to be about moving on and moving up, because it's time to elevate. Hello. And I just hope you like this video and you subscribe. And yeah, that's all I got for y'all today. And if you're in college, keep going. Keep going. Please don't quit. I know it gets hard. Utilize them tutors, please. Ask for help. Go to counseling. Please don't quit. You don't already put money towards this. So, yeah. This is the end of our video, and I will see y'all in our next video. Bye.